Few close friends who think like you, principles and values. Don't put expectations on people. Stop complaining. Stop listening to those who complain. Be close to God. Not thing is from nothing. I learned some things in life, that everything has an explanation. We can't always have this explanation immediately, but when we understand why, it becomes much easier to correct things that need to be corrected. Miracle, you let it happen. How is it going to happen? I don't know. I just know that I'm going to tell this story. After it happens, what is of man, the how is of God. If you worry too much about the how, you are getting into what is not yours. You are getting into what is of God, but defining your what requires faith, and faith requires focus. You are realizing that when you know your what, besides being sure and convinced of what makes sense to you, you need to focus on that, because if you lose focus, you lose faith. Is fed by focus. Faith is something spiritual, but focus is something emotional. It means that in the middle of the path to the miracle in your life, some things can happen, not to shake your faith, not to diminish the power of God, but to take your focus away. And that's what I want to warn you about. Some important things for you to stay focused, so write it down. Shield your mind. Item money, you need a few close friends. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 24, he who has many friends can, comatoruin, but there's a friends, singular is not plural, no more attached than a brother. Refi, you have many close friends. These friends necessarily have intimacy with you, or all the words they throw at you that the world throws at you that you believe. No, but they are words coming from close people. You good on the street, take your busy, your car parks, the car jets off, the busy, you meet someone you've never seen in your life, and this someone starts throwing bad words at you, starts belittling your image. You look at the person and say, I've never seen or even known you. You pass by and leave. The whole day has passed. You did what you had to do. You get home and don't even remember to tell what happened to the people. You know why? It doesn't even make a difference. That person spoke badly of you. You don't even know him. Now you get home and the person you love, maybe your husband, your wife, your father, your mother, your uncle, your grandfather, your son, throws the same words at you. Wait, then something different happened inside you. You went to your room to cry. Maybe you got sad. What did you take seriously? A word thrown by someone you love and didn't take seriously. The same word thrown by a stranger, a person you've never seen, because you gave the person you love the key for them to access your emotions. And what is the key that someone uses to access your emotions? Intimacy. You can't stop loving people, but you don't need to give intimacy to everyone you have to love. So have few close friends, because many close friends have access to your emotions. And
So we go back to that previous key. Have few close friends, but now who are these few people with principles and values similar to mine? When yours is executed because of your emotions, it is what is imperfect. When it is made by God, it is perfect and was made in your life. Who is going to tell this story to you? But you need to allow it. And to allow it, today you are going to make a list of people who cannot be friends. If this list is long, it is your choice. You chose to be friends with a lot of people. You make your choices, and your choices make you. An adult can only be hurt in his emotions if he allows it, and he allows it due to lack of knowledge. So a hurt adult cannot make choices that generate permanent consequences. Why? Because he will make choices based on his pain. So before making a choice that generates a permanent consequence, heal your pain. A close friend enters your house, sits in your place, opens your refrigerator without asking. How many friends are there? Very few. But can you have visitors in your house? You can. Do you understand the difference between a friend and a colleague? Close friends, few friends, many friends will lead you to ruin, will take you out of focus. And who are the few friends? Those who are the opposite of bad company. Bad company corrupts good habits. You understand that it will corrupt. Those who already have good habits will corrupt people. What are strong convictions in what is right will not corrupt. The foolish people have already been corrupted before. Hanging out with people who think differently from you will make you think differently. You go there and introduce Jesus to the person. If he doesn't accept you, go back. Don't stay long, you understand me? This is the place where you find your good friends. People who think like you. Not perfect, but who have perfect moments, and who see imperfection and regret that mistakes are not a routine, not a rule. They are a deviation and are perceived. Our children, for example, do not want perfect parents. They want honest parents. And honest parents are not those who do not make mistakes. They are those who recognize mistakes quickly. They forgive quickly. When you honor someone who deserves honor, the consequence is immediate. When you do not regret, the consequence is also immediate. The life you are living today is the result of everything you chose without knowing what you perhaps should know to make the right choices. Have few close friends so you don't lose focus. Who are these close friends? People who have principles and values similar to yours. Your colleagues can think whatever they want. Your friends have to believe in the same God that you believe in.
So imagine yourself in a WhatsApp group where there are a lot of people talking about, let's do this, let's do that. And you can't, because, you can't. But you're listening. Your mind starts to consider, you don't need to do the wrong thing. You can only consider the wrong thing. You've already lost focus. Few close friends. These friends have to think like you. Don't put your expectations on people. Psalm chapter 62 verse 5, only in God, O my soul, wait silently, because from him comes my hope. From whom of God, I hope, in whom in God is your husband can do something he can, and it's a bonus, it's a plus. That's sensational, and you can do it your boss, you can have yes, but don't put all your expectations on men. Stop complaining. There are people who think complaining is my God. You feel good complaining, I like complaining and stuff. You don't complain, you are dumping your pain on people, or you infect people with your hope, or you contaminate them with your paint. There's no way to be indifferent, that's it. There's no way to go through your life on the planet without interfering in people's lives. Now if you complain, you are dumping your pain on people. People stop complaining. Where is it in the Bible? 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 18, in everything give thanks, because this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. Now let's just understand this verse. Everything give thanks. In other words, in nothing find arguments for what to complain about. Now, everything happens the way you want. Then besides stopping complaining, it is important that you stop listening to those who complain.
At work, people come to me to complain. I think I have a gift. I'm sure you have a burden. People come to you to complain and you think it's a gift. This brings weight to your life. This is not from God. Because when someone comes to you to complain about something or someone, he doesn't want your help. He wants to find an ally in you. When your mother calls you to complain about someone who still lives with her, she wants you to be by her side when what she thinks is going to happen happens. When it happens, she says, "Oh, daughter, it happened. You're on my side, aren't you?" Okay, how many children who hate their father because they heard their father tell a story told by their mother who separated from their father are understanding? How many people at your work who look for you on Monday? And then it's okay, how was your weekend? Oh cool, you heard, I don't know. Seriously, you didn't hear. Seriously, he posted it in the WhatsApp group. He deleted it, but I took a screenshot. Run away from people who take screenshots. The king of screenshots. He is an expert in demanding rights. He keeps an offense. He keeps an accusation because he says that when I leave the company, I'm going to use this for moral damages. He doesn't want justice. He wants revenge. Justice is wanting back what was taken from you. Revenge. I want the person who took it from you to feel what you're feeling. This is not from God. Let go of revenge and seek justice if necessary, but don't lose focus. Few close friends. Friends who think like you. Principles and values. Don't put expectations on people. Stop complaining. Stop listening to those who complain. And finally, be close to God.
If, up until now, this video has somehow made or is making a difference in your life, in your way of seeing, I kindly ask you to subscribe to our channel, like the video, leave a comment about your point of view, activate the notification bell, and share it with your friends and family. This may not make any difference to you, but for us, it will make a huge difference and will motivate us to always continue bringing you motivational videos.
Because we believe in new beginnings. Because we believe in resurrections, because we believe in the possibility of you rebuilding your life, because we believe in the reinvention of your story, and because we believe that it is possible for you to renew your spirit to continue fighting for life, because of the idea that life is not ready, that no one's story here today is defined. What you are doing is living a moment that may not necessarily be good. But that certainly does not need to come true and define the entire story of your life. You can rebuild yourself, you can reinvent yourself, you can renew your heart to face situations of moments that are difficult, and that you would not like to be living. And we do all this because I know that reinvention is difficult. It is very difficult for you to renew your heart. It is difficult. All paths are difficult. But we do this based on grace and love. I do not have to rebuild my life out of obligation. And God is a great big brother who is up there in heaven with a notebook in his hand. He just couldn't rebuild. A negative point. He couldn't renew himself. Another Sunday because another negative point because it seems like we are struggling to try some things and God is in heaven just writing down our failures. No, we do this on the ground of grace and love. Exactly because he is the king. You didn't succeed, so you redo it. So you start over because God never tires of our new beginnings. That's what I learned, but many times it's hard to believe in this. Believing in renewal, believing in reinvention, believing in starting over. Some things can be a very difficult task because there are moments in our lives when the days become absurdly cloudy and this dense fog makes us unable to see things very far ahead. We even hear some things, but we don't listen. We listen like a mechanical exercise.
But we don't hear that it's a spiritual exercise of putting some truths into our hearts, and from them being able to live, and from them actually being able to change. Sometimes the clouds that block our eyes are so heavy that the light even tries to get through, but the fog gets in the way. Even the light tries to show us a way, but the density of the problem, the density of our issues are so heavy that the light can't get through. On days like these, in times like these, our hearts feel extremely downcast, tired, and we look at life without many perspectives, without many possibilities to face tomorrow. Maybe you made a really cool financial plan to take the trip of your dreams with your family, and then unemployment knocked on your door, and that money saved to take the trip you dreamed of becomes rice and beans. You made the plan. You were very organized. Then, on the other side of the world, there's a problem with the Asian stock market, and that reflects here, and your material plan to materialize something goes down the drain, and you get extremely frustrated. You could be here today, be an incredibly prudent driver, have no points on your license, never been fined, never even scratched the car, but one night.
You're walking on the other side? There's an irresponsible person who's had too much to drink, driving incredibly drunk, losing control of the car, and crashing into your car. This can even bring physical problems to your life. You studied, took all the possible courses, went after it, worked on your resume, but the job you wanted so much ended up in the hands of a person who's the boyfriend of the uncle's nephew of the person who chooses the right one. And then suddenly you look at your life and say, all this I did wasn't worth it. And we start to look at life in the most terrible way possible because it's very difficult to deal with injustices. I'll give you these 4 examples. I could give you another 50 possibilities of difficulties that we all face in life. Situations like this can generate in us that feeling that the night is useless, that feeling of being sick. It's not a period without night. That thing that sets in, that suffocates and takes away from us and oppresses our heart. It's the night of uselessness. Periods of our life that we look at and say, man, that doesn't make any sense. What a useless period. I never, in my worst nightmares, imagined living what I'm going through. I'm living osseless life, and times like this make us question faith, because depending on where you came from and where you started your journey, a faith maybe you received the proposal that faith in God is exactly not living the nights of uselessness, because God will always shine the sun, and your life will be forward success all the time, and joy, you will move forward with life. And then suddenly life comes along and says, oops, it's not like that, the exam was bad. Unemployment arrived, the financial crisis is here, and your care is wrecked. And then we question, what there and the chance of life now a question faith. And the question is, we're in faith itself or in the proposal that we accept about faith. What advantage does it have then, faith? Because faith is not making everything work out. Faith is continuing even when everything goes wrong. You need to put this in your hearts so that your life of faith is not what blames you. Faith is not you being able to make everything in your life work out. Faith is exactly you continuing to live, continuing to try, continuing to fight, exactly when everything goes wrong. That's exactly way. Faith comes in a person of faith. What that person who is always fine, spends the day in the pool drinking caipirinha, a person of faith.
Wow, you don't need to have faith to do this. No, faith comes in exactly when it makes sense, and it shows itself to be relevant. It shows itself to be strong when things go wrong. Even if they are going wrong, I don't question who God is. I prepare myself to face life because problems have nothing to do with my amount of faith. My problems have something to do with a fact. The fact is that you're alive. Problems are characteristics of living people. Have you noticed that your heart is pumping blood? Your breathing here, while you listen to me, means that you have the potential to have a lot of problems. If your heart stops, it solves yours, because the person who is by your side creates another problem for them. No, life is exactly about dealing with these difficult issues, news that we don't want. This has nothing to do with the amount of faith, because faith doesn't change situations. Faith changes our behavior in the face of situations. Your faith doesn't affect the world. Your faith affects you so that you can deal with your world. Faith, you opened your heart for God to do something incredible within you, which is for you to continue, even when life becomes extremely difficult. This is faith. Faith is about the way in which you answer the questions that life asks you. The problem of your life does not concern faith. The problem of life concerns life, because it is not the amount of faith that will solve your problems. Because faith does not deal with problems. Faith deals with the heart problem. Who deals with you?
Leave your opinion, your point of view in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and share with your friends and family. Until next time.